Hola! Welcome to my Spanish kitchen. We're high up in the mountains above the Mediterranean coastal city of Alicante, and today we're going to prepare a classic known as Tortilla Española or Tortilla de Patatas. It's served in tapas bars, cafes, homes all across Spain, and it's served for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's very simple, made with simple ingredients like an onion, potatoes, some farm fresh eggs, a little bit of Mediterranean sea salt, and a whole lot of extra virgin olive oil. So let's get started. I've already sliced up the onions. I'm going to put them in about 1/4 inch of oil in the pan that's already hot, and I'm going to start to let that caramelize. This is not necessarily a step that everybody takes. Frequently, homes will simply mix the potatoes and the onions all together and cook them this way. But I like to get the onions a little bit more caramelized because I think it adds a better flavor. So I'll add that. And while that's happening, I'm going to finish slicing the potatoes. I use a mandolin because it means that I'm getting exactly the same thickness slice of potato every time. And it also means the potatoes will cook much more evenly. All right, we're on to the next step. I've caramelized the onions, drained them, and set them to the side. I've just added all the potatoes in with the oil. This will cook for about 5 minutes, and we'll come back when we're sure that the potatoes are cooked through by testing them with a short knife. It's been about 5 minutes, so we'll check the potatoes. The knife goes through pretty evenly, and that means I'm ready to take them out, let them drain, reserve the oil for another use, and on to the next step. I drained the potatoes, reserved the oil for use on another day. I've added it to this bowl with the caramelized onions and 6 well-beaten eggs. I'm letting this set for about 5 minutes so that it gets a little bit of a slurry going. It doesn't need much, and then we'll be putting it back in the pan for the final step of the dish. Finally, we're ready for the finished dish. And what I'm going to do is take our mixture, put it in this pan. I have it at about a medium high. I want to spread it out evenly. And now we're going to let it cook, and it'll probably take maybe 5 minutes for it to set up well. What's important is that it not stick to the sides, and I'm using a nonstick pan to help that, because the final step will be flipping it over, sliding it back into the pan, and cooking the opposite side. This dish is interesting to me because it's such a Spanish classic, but it's also so much like the smartest way to have hash browns and scrambled eggs all in one dish. And you can have it hot or you can have it cold. It doesn't matter. Room temp is perfect, and typically that's how it's served. So we'll come back in a few minutes and get ready for the final flip. The moment of truth. Every Spanish granny would have no problem with this next step, but I have to admit, it's a little scary for me, because what we're going to do is hope that this is loose enough from the pan, because we need to flip it over and cook it on the bottom side as well. And sometimes it works really well for me, and sometimes not so well. So we're gonna give it a try. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Miracle! It worked! Take a look. Now, the next tricky part is to gently slide this right back into the pan so it can finish cooking on the bottom side. You can tuck it in a little bit, but that worked pretty well. So a few more minutes on the flip side, and we'll be sliding it out and serving it for lunch. Well, we're ready for the final step. All we have to do now is slide it out of the pan onto the plate and enjoy a really classic Spanish lunch. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen today. Hope you get a chance to make this soon.